Everybody, Beneza again. This is a video on a company or business called Optua in England, formerly known as Rethink Disability. They rebranded themselves as Optua. I started working for them part-time. It eventually came full-time because they liked me, or the manager liked me. He said, just fill out the application form. We'll formally interview you and other people because we have to. And I put on my application form that I've got motor processing dyslexia, which basically means that the left side of my brain works faster than my right. So unfortunately, the manager who interviewed me for both jobs did something stupid with his girlfriend, who was the supervisor or senior worker under him at the time, and they both got fired for it. Unfortunately, then they brought a new manager in, and they made one of the more popular members of staff senior worker, and just before the previous manager got fired, he put me on more responsibility. So they sent me on training courses, specifically in handling medication, because I've been there a while now, and the four tenants there had got used to me. So I started doing the medications, and on the odd occasion I might do 3 shifts in a row. So it's the evening shift, the night shift where you have to sleep there, and then the morning shift, the early shift. And I don't sleep that well, so a few times I might only get 2 or 3 hours sleep just because I can't get to sleep, and it's a different place, and that's when I get least sleep, when I sleep in a different place that I'm not used to sleeping at. So that's when my dyslexia kicks in most, when I'm tired or stressed, or there's too much going on around me. So I was doing someone's medication a few times, and I accidentally put my initials to say that the tenant that had their medication in the wrong place. I put my initials the day ahead instead of the day that I gave them to them. So the new senior worker kicked up a real fuss about it. I don't like him, and he can't do anything, and even one of the tenants who liked her more would say, you're too mean to him. Why are you being like that to him for? Because I guess she would have a mother's meeting about me with other members of staff in front of this tenant. So they suspended me for it. So I got a union involved. They said, well, we can't help you because you didn't tell us in time. I said, well, I did tell you. I said it's still an ongoing situation, but they wouldn't help me. But they did initially send this guy in from a different company to assess my dyslexia, to assess the place that I worked, and this guy turned up the day that he turned up, and he was promised that him and I could get into the main office by the new manager. But when he turned up, I introduced him to my manager, and her and the member of staff working with us that day went into the office and locked it. They locked both doors. There's one to the car park and one into the community room. So they locked both doors, and he shouted out and said, excuse me, you were supposed to get in there. You promised me that we could get in there. He said, no. She was like, no, we've changed our minds. So he assessed everywhere he could. He said, well, I don't particularly need to get in the office, but it would be more appropriate if I did. So he said, we just add the software for the computers and everything onto the list of stuff that they need to pay for, and I'll mail you out whatever I feel that you need, and that they'll have to pay for it. And I got the letter, they got the letter, and the stuff that he suggested came up to about between £13,000 and £14,000. So as soon as they found out how much money, they suspended me. And all of a sudden, I get a letter to say they want a meeting about all this. This time and this date at this place. As the senior citizen or the OAP building next to ours that they ran as well. I wanted them to meet me in the meeting room there. So I got the letter, and the day came to where I was supposed to go to the meeting. So I got up, showered, and all of a sudden I thought, I'm too upset, I can't go to this meeting. I've gone through all this. It's a business that, helps people with learning disabilities and physical disabilities. And this is how they're treating me. I'm dyslexic. They shouldn't be treating me like this. I went for a walk instead of getting on the bus to get to work. So I went for a walk where I'd normally walk anyway. I went into the local supermarket, Tesco's. Came home and my mum said, this person's been on the phone. She's wondering where you are because they want to talk to you. And she said, what's the problem? And I explained to my mum what's the problem. She said, really, this is you haven't. Why didn't you tell me about it? And I said, because I was worried that if I lose my job, you'd be upset with me. So I'm really upset at Optua because they fired me for something completely different, and I don't mind saying what. And they fired me for sexual harassment, and I sent a letter back asking who I sexually harassed, what did I do to this person. It's completely irrelevant to why you suspended me. All of a sudden I've sexually harassed somebody. I would like to know who I've sexually harassed, please. And I never got a letter back. And it basically made me feel depressed. Whereas I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't come out my room, and I'm usually a person who showers every day. I wouldn't shower, but I didn't shower that whole week. I did leave my window open though, in my bedroom. So my mum said, you need to go and see a doctor because you're not feeling right, are you? I said no. And now after 11 years, I've finally decided to do this video and put it on YouTube because Optua, you falsely accused me of doing something to somebody, and you couldn't even tell me who I've done it to. And maybe if and when I come back to England, if I can, I might take legal action against you, because I should have done this back then, 11 years ago. I should have done something about it, and I didn't. And once I come back to England, I'm gonna seek legal help, because excuse me, you unfairly fired me. I didn't do anything to anybody. I made a mistake a few times because I'm dyslexic, and you basically wrong, in my opinion. You did me wrong, in my opinion. I didn't harass anybody. I didn't touch nobody. I didn't force myself upon anybody. I didn't say any lustful, nasty words to anybody. And I can understand if I had, but I didn't. So, no. If any lawyers see this in England, no, I would appreciate your help.